24th. I hope everybody is doing well. I know there's been some crazy weather out there on the East Coast. So if you are there and you are experiencing all of that blizzard and heavy snow, I hope you're safe. I hope you're warm. I hope you have power, and maybe you've got a little bit of milk, bread, and beads to get you through. That's all you need, really, in a snowstorm. I'm told, anyway. Hello, everybody. Hi, Thaisa. Thanks for being here. So welcome, everybody. As I said, it is February 24th, 2026. And today is another Beadaholique live class. As you guys know, Beadaholique is closing its doors, but we are still going to continue to provide you live content as long as we can. The stock at beadaholique.com is dwindling. You guys have been buying up all the goodies. So, we are challenged every week to put together some ideas for you, but we're going to continue as long as we can. So I hope everybody has taken advantage of the 50% off closing sale for Beadaholique.com. That continues. So if you're watching on or about February 24th, know that if you go to the website, you can find everything there. You don't need a special code or a coupon or anything like that to get the 50% off at Beadaholique.com. So today, my friends, we are going to be talking about boutique style jewelry. I believe we've talked about it before, but I thought it might be kind of fun to revisit that because there are so many fun things still available on the website for you to take advantage of, whether you are making boutique style jewelry for yourself or for a friend, or if you are selling jewelry and maybe even selling jewelry in a boutique. There are some beautiful things that you can put together for your boutique style jewelry. So I thought it might be fun to do that. Let's see who's here so far. I see Thaisa is here in the background. So if you have questions throughout the show, Thaisa and I are both here. Jennifer is here. Hi, Santa Barbara girl. Thank you for being here. Elaine in San Francisco is here. She says, good morning. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, how do you store all your beads? That's a loaded question. I have a lot of beads. And in fact, my beads are like really in a state of disarray. I have lots of different plastic bins throughout my studio. Some are very organized, some are very not. And right now there's a lot of mess in here, to be perfectly honest. So I do store things in plastic bags, if that's helpful for you to know. But yeah, anything that I can do to protect them from dust and from rubbing up against each other, but they're not very organized. They are stored, but they are not very organized. So that's maybe a topic for another day, Jennifer. That's a very loaded question. Hi, Kathleen M. Let's see who else is here. Rhonda Z is here from South Carolina. Good to see you. Beadaholique team, Michelle is here. I'm so glad Michelle is in the house. Francie in KC is here. Jane from Long Island. Oh my gosh. So she is dealing with the blizzard in Long Island. I'm so sorry. I've seen the pictures. It looks just awful. It just looks really cold and really, really snowy. Good morning from Montana, Jan T. And B is here. Let's see who else. Let's see. Kathleen says, I don't know, something about M. Janet Chaffee is here from Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Janet. Santa Barbara girl, answer everywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Storing beads in my space, I have a lot, probably enough to open a bead store. So it really is a storage problem at this point. So, yeah. Let's see. Hilda from sunny Florida. Hello. Dee from Miami. Hello, hello. Clara in Texas. Who else? Lisa in PA is here. Di is here from Virginia. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful that you guys come and spend time with us. Gloria is here from California. Jennifer is here. Linda Huckabee, hello from Arkansas. Ellen from New Jersey is here. You guys, thanks for coming. So, today, as I said, we're going to talk about boutique jewelry. So before we get started, just a little bit of info on how to watch the shows. The best place to watch this show is at beadaholique.com/live because we can see your comments here on the show. So if you're watching live and you're watching over on Facebook or YouTube, unfortunately, we can't see your comments live. But if you come on over here, you can chit chat with all of the others that are here and myself and Thaisa and Michelle, who are here to answer any questions and help you out if you have them. And let's see, if you're watching on replay or live, this is the best place to shop the show, and you can shop the show while you watch. So there's a little shopping bag icon on your screen, and you can click on that at any time. The show does not go away. You can still hear us and see us. So feel free to do that. Everything that I'm going to tell you is in the show is in the shopping bag, or everything that I tell you is in the shopping bag is in the shopping bag, although it is subject to sell out throughout the course of the show because we are in closing mode here at Beadaholique.com. Unfortunately, there are no tools left. There are no findings left. There's no chain left. Well, there's a little bit of chain, and I've got a couple of things in the show today. So we're going to make some boutique style jewelry. I'm going to flip the camera down, and I'm going to give you 1 minute to peruse what's here. I got to shut the door. The cat let himself out and left the door open. Jinxie, my studio assistant, was in here and he decided to vacate. He did not want to help with the show today. So I've got some fun things, you guys. We're going to make a necklace today, but I thought I would show you a few other things because boutique style jewelry to me is kind of what's current, what's out there today, and what you might find in like a gift shop or a boutique on a nice town street where they have lots of fun things that you can gift to yourself or gift to someone else. And I'm seeing some interesting things out there these days. And so I thought I'd start with showing you some pieces and parts that are still available at Beadaholique.com that I might see in my local area. So I'm going to pull a few of these out. So there are some metal components that are available, and I'm sorry for the plastic sound. I should have taken these out in advance. I took a few things out. I live in the Southwest, live in Arizona, and I often see jewelry made with components like this where I am. And these are all available as of right now. They have lots of potential of selling out because they are still out there. They may just be on the verge. Now, these are metal, but they are adorned with some plastic components that look like stone, which is a cool benefit because they don't come with the real gemstone turquoise price tag, and they also make the piece a little bit more lightweight. So these are gorgeous. They're super fun. They are a 24 millimeter Southwestern cross. And you can take two of those, put those on an ear wire, and you have instant boutique style Southwest earrings, which look very, very cool. I want them all too, Thaisa. And I love these. These are a smaller one. So these are actually 12 millimeter faux turquoise charms. And they have almost a little sun vibe to them. So these, again, if you like just an easy peasy earring, but something that's so very boutique style, you can drop those on an ear wire and they're super lightweight. These are small, so that makes them even more lightweight. And then there's these, if you like silver. Just going to set those off to the side. These, if you like silver, are oh gosh, I grabbed that one again. These are super cool. Look at these. So these also have that faux stone. These are 23 millimeter, and they're that silver tone with kind of a striping effect. And they have this very exaggerated loop up top, which I think makes them fun and interesting. If you wanted to make these into an earring, I'm just going to really quickly show you this because these would make fantastic earrings. Now, these unfortunately are not available because there are very few findings available. But look at this as a nice earring on, a nice elongated kidney ear wire, super fun, super dangly, really pretty earrings. You can do this with just about any earring, any charm that you've got. I'm actually going to close that up a little bit with my chain nose pliers so that that guy can't come out and move around. But these are perfect for boutique style. So if you have access to long kidney ear wires and you have access to these charms, you can make some really cool earrings. Now, the Southwest style is also very popular in other places, so you don't have to live in the Southwest to take advantage of that boutique style for, for your jewelry. I threw this in the shopping bag as well because this is a component that you can use to create a very simple design. So this is a silver-plated adjustable wheat chain necklace sliding clasp piece. Let me see if I can actually get this right here. So you can put some things onto like charms. So if you have that little Southwest charm, let me take the one that was still available. You could put this at the bottom or actually you could put a clasp up top. You could put this towards the top. There's lots of different ways that you can do this, but this is another way that you can create a very simple necklace without having to get a lot of pieces and parts. That sliding clasp makes it adjustable, and you can have these little pieces dangling out at the end, or you can have pieces dangling at this end. There's lots of different ways that you can play with this. This is a really great thing for boutique style jewelry. So you can sell something that is adjustable. So if you're selling your jewelry or you just want to make something that's very boutique style, this is a great thing to have. And at 50% off, this is a really cool thing to get into your jewelry making studio or your craft room, whatever the case may be. Now, I also wanted to share these because I think these make an amazing earring. So this particular one is sold out, but I did the same thing with these fan charms. I put them onto kidney ear wires. This particular one is sold out. I just wanted to show you this one as a sample, but there are a few others that are available. So look at this one. This is beautiful. This is a rhodochrosite stone. So there's actually a real stone in these, and these are really beautiful. 20 by 24 millimeter fan charm pendants with gemstones. They are super shiny on one side, and then they have that beautiful rhodochrosite faceted stone set into them. Really beautiful. Let's see. Hilda says, is a slider clasp available? I don't see it in the basket. Maybe it has sold out since then. Hilda, maybe Thaisa or Michelle can check that out. And Ruth Alice says, if those melon beads are still available that are on the table, can you put them in the cart? They should be in the shopping bag. If they are not, I'll ask Michelle or Thaisa to take a look for me and see if they are still available. So here are those fans. Those are in rhodochrosite, and then the rhodochrosite ones also come in gold tone. So these are beautiful in gold tone as well. So I just think these are super fun. They make beautiful earrings. So again, the purple ones are sold out, but I wanted to illustrate how pretty these look as just a simple earring. And I could see these being in a gift shop or boutique anywhere in, the USA. I mean, they are so beautiful, so gorgeous. So I want to make sure that you don't miss out on these if you like these, because there's still some available for you. So let me set those aside. And then let's just talk about a few things here, and then we're going to actually make something with these. So let me see. Looks like the slider clasp got added, and she's adding some different ones as well. Thank you, Thaisa. Yeah, I know. I can't believe they're still available. Maybe after today they won't be. So you guys, this is there's 2 chains here, and these are really giant, chunky chains. But I will tell you what I am seeing in layering. So people are still layering lots of necklaces, and gold tone is still super popular. And what I'm seeing in some of the layering is one layer has a big chunky piece of chain. And this chain is really, really cool. I am crazy about this chain. So just for perspective, this is what it looks like on my wrist. So you can see how big those links are. And I did not get a big enough piece to make a necklace with today, but you could do all kinds of fun things with this chunky chain. You could get one piece, and maybe on either end of it, you could add like a piece of fabric, some sari silk, or some leather cord. That could be how you tie it in the back. But you could use this to also have just one little charm on it. And I thought I'd show you this just as an idea. So let's say this was your necklace. You could attach one of these. And I don't know if you guys have seen these. We've had these little kind of tassel-y looking pendants for a while. I'm not sure that the other ones are still available, but these have little rhinestones on some of the little paddles that dangle down. So I thought this was really interesting and fun. I was hoping to feature this one in last week's show, but I didn't have it in time. So I just thought this might be kind of cool. You could take your necklace and just take a couple of jump rings and attach that on, and this becomes one of your layers, or it becomes just a cool standalone statement necklace with this chunky chain and this really dramatic pendant. So if you don't like if you don't like the chunky chain, this can also go on smaller chain. Unfortunately, most of that small chain is sold out, but this would also look nice on a smaller chain. And if you're brave, these could also be earrings. So you could grab 2 of these and you could create earrings, which would be super dangly and super fun with a little bit of that sparkle on them. So I thought I would make sure you guys know about these, because the chunky chain as a layer is very much a thing in the boutiques, sort of in style right now. So grab this while we still have it. I can't believe we still do. And it makes a nice sound. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's just a really, really cool sound. And by the way, this one is rectangular. And this is 28 by 10.5 millimeter links. And then this one is gold oval cable chain, and this one has 20 by 12 millimeter links, and both are sold by the foot. So I would grab a couple feet if you want a necklace and you don't want to attach it in any other way. You could also attach it to a string of beads, by the way. So that's what I would recommend that you guys take a look at if you like the big bold chains. Now, the little dangle piece also comes in silver, which I think some of you silver gals might really love this. Like, this is just a really cool, just fun little charm or pendant that you can hang from a necklace or create earrings with. And I thought, what a cool necklace it would be if you used these gorgeous beads. So these are fire polish beads. They are check glass. They're 12 millimeter round. They're not 28. 12 millimeter rounds, and they have that gorgeous faceting. These are crystals, so they look like crystals. They are glass and they are clear. So this would be really, really beautiful. And here's one of the beads alone, just so you can see the clearness of this. It's just super crystal clear. And all of those facets, just beautiful. And combined with this, it would be really, really beautiful. And I'm seeing Santa Barbara Girl suggesting New Year's Eve shooting stars necklace. There it is right there, Santa Barbara Girl. That is the perfect name for that combo. But if you don't like this dangly piece, another option for you might be this guy. And this is super neat. So where's the packaging? This one is a 42 by 28 millimeter ornate connector in rhodium plating. And it's got lots of details on it. The back looks like this. And it's got 2 holes up here on either side, and then all of this down here. Now, you can either just ignore these from a dangle perspective. They don't have to have anything dangling from them, but you could dangle something from each one of these loops at the bottom, or every third or every other, something like that. But I thought these would look really beautiful with this piece too. And I lost that single guy. So this just really lovely. And honestly, I wouldn't feel compelled to use these loops. I think they just look like a beautiful little decorative component. One other thing that you could do though is there is this little indentation here in an oval shape. If you had a little oval cabochon, you could drop that in there with a little 2-part epoxy, or you could take some paint. I would rough it up with a little sandpaper, and you could do some acrylic paint, some patina paints, some resin with some color in it. And you could add a little bit of color to this as well. So this is super cool. And this would be something I would expect to see in a boutique as, something that might be under the counter, something really fancy that looks like it would be under the counter. So I love this. I love the beads. I love the pendant. So lots of potential for boutique style jewelry there. So let's make something boutique style. And what I want to do is use some of my favorite charms. So I don't know if we got these beads into the shopping bag, but these melon beads are really fun. They're really beautiful. They're an 8 millimeter halo ethereal shadows melon bead. So they're that melon shape. They're like a green with a gold wash over them. And then we've got these that are, let's see, where is my package for this one? Oh, this is a check round in 8 millimeter, and it's suede gold rosaline. So these two I thought looked really beautiful together. This chain is not available, but I want to show you what you can do with some charms. And we do have the charms available. So I love me some gemstones. And we've got lots of these beautiful little electroplated charms. So these are pyrite with that gold electroplated gold electroplating. I'm having trouble with words today. These are 12.5 millimeter, and these are a pyrite stone, a genuine pyrite with that electroplate up top and that little loop. So we can add those to our chain. There are also some other gemstone charms. This is feldspar, and this is a 12 by 8 millimeter oval charm pendant, and it's tiny, but it is a similar size to these guys. So this would look really fun as part of this piece we're going to make. There are also these little 9 millimeter onion shaped electroplated gemstones. So these are super cute. I took 3 of these and added them to a bracelet a while back. So none of the rest of this is available, but these little onion shaped charms look really cool on a bracelet as well. So all of these little gold guys are really fun little options. There's also rutilated quartz, and I know some of you really love rutilated quartz. So these also have that beautiful electroplating up top. These are all 12.5 millimeters. By the way, these are 9 millimeters in case I didn't say that. So we've got those, and we've got these amethyst, which are spectacular. These look so nice and juicy. So these are all, these right here are all ovals, and they have that electroplating up top. And then these are a little onion shape. And then this is the only one in the gold tone in the feldspar that's got that. This is not electroplated. It's actually in a gold tone setting. But all of these are real gemstones. And then one more that's a little bit different. These are dendrite opals, and these are 16 millimeter twisted pear shape, and they are a gold electroplate as well. And each one of these stones is going to be a little bit different. The thing about these is that you could also drop these all on an ear wire and still have a very beautiful boutique style earring. So if you pick up a bunch of these little stones, which I'd just grab a couple of pairs of each one. I'd make earrings, and then I would want to put together this necklace. So I'm going to set those larger ones off to the side. There's actually some of these charms in the silver electroplate as well. Actually, these are gold too. These are Amazonite in the gold, the little onion ones. But there are also some silver electroplates available. I'll show you these really quickly before we make this. These are Amazonite. And then there is a silver chalcedony that's a little pink chalcedony. It's hard to see that because my finger's like the same color. But these have a silver up top versus the gold up top. So you can see that difference. So silver ones are available. And then there's also silver in these little oval charms as well. Look at these. These are my favorite. These are a rhodonite. So they're that faceted pink stone. And these are silver versus the gold like this. And then there's also, this is feldspar. I believe this one might be feldspar also. I did not write this one down, unfortunately, but I think this might be feldspar also. So in the silver tone, and there's in the gold tone. So if you want, a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, you want to grab them all. There's so many things that you can do with these little charms. And as I showed you, you could take them and just put them on an ear wire, and you've got a fun little charm. charm earring. So what I want to do here is I'm going to create a necklace. And what I want to do is start with, I'm going to set all my little charms off to the side. It's going to be a charm style necklace. Charm style necklaces are so popular still. They've been popular now for a while, and you'll see them with kind of enameled charms. You'll see them with vintage charms. You'll see them with all kinds of beautiful charms. And I've also seen them with beautiful gemstone charms. So there's lots of possibilities if you have charms. Now I'm going to use some 19 strand beading wire, and I'm going to just do a very simple beaded design to start with. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my gold tone seed beads. These are also not available, unfortunately, but I'm going to use these as my spacers. And I'm going to do just a very simple design, and I'm going to add, I'm going to do 2 sides of my necklace. So I'm going to attach chain to this on either, like as a focal point. So I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Just want to get some of these beads strung. So we've got our piece. And, you know, I'm seeing lots of these charm necklaces with the stone or with stones as the beads, but also glass, and just one color or 2 colors, or just a gemstone or multicolored glass bead necklace. And so you can do all beads, or you can do a combination like what I'm doing. I'm going to do beads and chain. So what you need to do something like this is charms, and make your decision about chain, whether you're going to use chain or you could do beads and chain. You'll need some jump rings for this kind of charm that we're going to work with today. We're definitely going to need jump rings because some of our charms have to be oriented in a specific way. So we're going to use jump rings to make this. So I'm just doing a simple pattern here of these 2 beads, which I think look really beautiful together. And then I'm going to do 3 seed beads in between. So this is what my pattern is looking like. And look at that ethereal color on this, on these 2 beads. So this is a really lovely kind of bead combination. And this would be the kind of thing that if you're in a boutique, you might see something fancy like this, see some fancy beads like this, and you're not going to find something like this somewhere else. So this could be under the, under the case, locked away in the case, or this could be on a display on a shelf. And this would be the kind of thing that someone comes into the boutique and says, I gotta have that piece. So I'm gonna take this piece here. I'm gonna leave some wire up top because I'm not exactly sure how many beads I need just yet. But I'm gonna trim this piece off of my package, and I'm gonna add another bead stopper. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to start my other strand. So I'm going to do 2 strands because my chain is going to go in the middle. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And I'm going to do the same patterning. And I'm doing that, that pattern of 3 seed beads to give it kind of the metallic vibe in between the beads. So look at how that kind of looks like a chain. Thank you, Santa Barbara girl. Looks like chain, or maybe some kind of, some kind of metallic there. And these are 15 O's, you guys. I know that makes some people crazy, but you could most certainly use 11 O's. You could use demi rounds. You could use some other kind of spacer. And you could do 2 beads or 1 bead. It's totally up to you and your design, but this is what I'm doing. So if you want to do what I'm doing, that's what combination I have going here. And just getting on those little 15s, and these melon beads are gorgeous. These rounds, these 8mm rounds are gorgeous. And the charms that we're working with are kind of the right, I would say they're the right sizing to make this interesting. So if you were to go with a bigger bead, the bigger beads might overpower the charms. If you went with a smaller bead, if like a 6mm bead would probably still be okay for this kind of a necklace, but that's also a design preference. So let's just get these last few beads on, and then we're gonna add some chain. And I really love this combo. Love this combo. All right, so the gemstone charms, if you guys are grabbing those, they can all kind of blend in with this look. So our beads, these beads here have a very kind of neutral vibe to them. So they are, they're a rosaline, but they, with the finishing on them, they have almost a white kind of neutral vibe. And I will also say these green beads that have the melon shape are also a bit neutral looking because of the finish on them. So let me take a look at my other strand to see how many beads I've got there. I think I've got an equal amount here. So I'm going to take my bead stopper here, drop that on. Then I'm going to trim off at this end and put another bead stopper on, and then move my wire off to the side. Now, this is what we're going to do here. Let me push these guys over a little bit and make sure that you guys can see this. So I think I'm going to put my beads actually in these trays. We might need more, but I'm not sure yet. So this is going to be how the necklace will go. So these 2 strands will come down like that. And then we're going to add chain down here. So this chain will be where our charms will hang from. So I kind of like this amount of chain. And that tells me, looking at the length of this, that I'm going to need more beads on my strands. But I'm going to start with just adding my chain to these bead strands. So let me grab some crimp tubes, and I've also got some French wire. And I know you guys have seen me do the French wire before. There is no French wire available, and I don't believe there are any crimps available on the website. So we're just gonna have you use something from your own stash. You can also just attach your wire directly to the chain links if you'd like, but I'm going to take my 2 pieces and I'm just going to trim off a little bit to get them to be the same length. And I'm actually going to move that back a little bit to give myself a little bit more space. And I'm going to take a crimp tube, put that on to my piece of beaded wire here. And then I'm going to grab that French wire and hopefully be able to put that right on. And then I'm going to take my chain link and I'm just going to put that right onto my wire. I'm going to pull that French wire out of the way. I'm going to take my wire and go through just that one bead. And then I'm going to pull the wire down to the crimp tube. And I'm doing this just to give us a little metallic, a little bit of a metallic continuity for this necklace. So it's just going to add almost like another little chain link. And I know it's a different color, but I think it kind of blends with what we're doing here. So I'm going to take that and put that up there. And then I'm going to do the other side. Now what I want to do is cut my chain. So I think what I want to make sure of is I've got a nice uneven number of the large links. So I'm going to just do a quick count because I think I want it to be right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to actually, I think this is soldered chain. So I'm going to trim that guy and open that up. So I want uneven because I do want kind of a midpoint of the chain. So I want there to be something that hangs in the middle. And it doesn't have to be perfect because our charms are all going to be a little bit different, but I just like that to kind of be how it will go. So making sure I've got enough room on my other end there and putting on my French wire, grab that end of my chain and take that French wire, pull it away and take my wire, put that through my crimp tube and through that first bead, and the end there wants to play along. All right, so we've got our chain connected there. Now all we need to do is crimp. That end of that wire is super curly. It's just curling up there. All right, so we've got our crimp there. Then I'm going to pull this guy away and trim off my excess wire. And now we've got this necklace with this chain. So this, we've got lots of room, lots of opportunity to add our charms. So all of these beautiful little gemstone charms are what we're going to add to our necklace. So let me get that guy out of the way. And I'm actually going to put I dumped out a bunch of crimp tubes. Let's get all the extraneous stuff off the mat. And I'm going to take my seed beads and scoop them up as well because we might need those, but we don't know yet. All right, so here's my charms. Let's put this up here and kind of take a look at where our center point is, which is kind of where I like to start. So we've got a couple of larger ones. So maybe for our center point, we'll use a larger charm. So these dendric opal ones that are kind of twisted, that will make a nice center point for us. So I've got some 4mm jump rings here. And I always like to use more than one jump ring when I can, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to here. I like that because it will give me a little bit of extra security. It also creates a little bit more of a bail effect. So I'm going to grab my chain and I'm going to take that charm attach it directly to that link. And I'm going to resituate it to make sure I know where it is, because one thing you'll want to do with a charm necklace is make sure that your charms are hanging from the same place on your chain links. So you don't want one attached up here and one attached down here. It's just going to make your necklace look kind of wonky. So I'm going to take another jump ring here, and I'm going to, making sure I see where the chain is, attach it to that chain, and then make sure I get that charm in the right spot. And that will just add a little bit of extra security and a little bit of oomph to the design. Now, I know that these jump rings are a different color, but we've got a different color up here, and we've got some gold tone in the strand of beads. So I'm all about it. Let's embrace that difference of metal tones. So then I've got my focal, right? I've got my very center point of my chain. And what I want to do now is making sure I get all of those links in the right, facing in the right place, like that. And then I'm going to just kind of take a look at what charms I might do next. So I've got some pairs here. I think I'm going to skip this design, although this would be beautiful too. I think I'm going to stick with all of these electroplated versions to go here and kind of put them so that they're kind of going together, you know, in pairs. So let's take a look. So I just want to kind of space these out a little bit. Let's just see how that looks. I like that. Nice little palette of stones. And I think what I'm going to do is skip the small links. And these should be okay. I don't think they'll like collide with each other too much, although they might a little bit. I think they'll be okay. Maybe skip over, let's see, if they're like this one should be good. That one should be good. I think they'll be okay. And if they do clutter together, I think that will work okay too. So I'm just going to set these up here so I remind myself of my pattern. And then I'm going to attach this one. So again, I've got 2 4mm jump rings. And I'm going to open up my jump rings and attach that little guy to the right place on the chain. Now see, once I pick up that chain, I just want to make sure I can see that it's in the right direction. And open up that jump ring a little bit more. That jump ring was kind of wonky to begin with. So got that guy on. That's going to look nice. And open up this one. I'm going to take this jump ring, put that on, and then put the second jump ring through. Now, if you're not a double jump ring person, it's certainly not a requirement, but I really like the look of that. So there's our second charm like that. So we'll do that. And then I think I'll go and add the one on the other side next. So the Amazonite, these are the Amazonite onion shapes. And guys, these have like facets all over them. They're so fun. Like the feel of them is really nice. So real gemstone charms still available, which shocked me when I was looking for a project. I thought, how the heck are these still available? How are these still available? But I have a feeling if you guys like these, that these might not be available after today. So let's see if they are. But these are a great thing to take advantage of, especially if you're trying to do some boutique style jewelry, because the little gemstone charms are just really kind of a special thing. So I'm going to put that on my chain, grab that guy, and lock that in. So these look so nice. So look at how pretty that looks. Just some pretty little gemstone charms. Oh, and you know, I didn't get that one completely secured on there. So let's do that one again. That's the thing, is when you start getting into multiple jump rings on something, you can very easily lose sight of that where it needs to go. So grab that chain link and put that on to the chain link. Maybe. Let's get that one in there all together different. So grab that charm, put that through the charm, and then onto the link. And there we go. This is just a little bit of a fiddly thing when you get your multiple jump rings on there. All right, so now let's add our amethyst next. And these amethysts are everything, you guys. They are so pretty. Such a nice little faceted gemstone. So beautiful. So I'm going to grab a bunch of these jump rings. So we're going to do the same thing, adding our pretty little charms. Put that on. I'm actually going to try, I'm usually successful at this when I'm able to flip my chain around. But I'm going to hold on to this guy. Let's see. Oh. All right, let's get that guy on there. And there we go. All right. I think if I work from this angle, I'm a little bit better there. And then I'm going to open up that second jump ring. And this is a great project for practicing the opening and closing of jump rings, because you're going to have to do a few of those to get all of these guys on here. Now, if you like more of a matchy look with your chain, you can grab some jump rings that are an antique brass. This chain is antique brass, and again, it's not available. Unfortunately, it's sold out. But just showing you the possibilities of what you can do when you've got some chain, when you've got these beautiful charms. Put that on. And one more jump ring on there. And then we just have two more charms to add. So I'm going to attach that guy and attach that to the chain link and close up that jump ring. All right, so now, ooh, I love this little combination of charms. So look at that. That looks so pretty. So this is so boutique because the charm necklace thing is so popular still. I keep saying to myself, is that charm necklace thing gonna go away? It's not going away, you guys. It's still happening. It's still happening. So let me see if I'm missing. I see questions about product. Yeah, the split rings I don't think are available, but maybe I've not seen them. A lot of the findings are sold out, you guys, unfortunately. Here's that pretty little onion shape. A lot of the findings are sold out. A lot of the charm, or a lot of the chain is sold out. I think there's just a few chains that are left, including the one that the big chunky ones we looked at earlier. That's available. So if you're looking for that chunky necklace look like we talked about, you might want to grab that while you still can, because probably not going to be available for much longer. It's going to sell out. All right, so let's see. We've got that little onion guy, and I've somehow got my little jump ring attached the wrong way. So that, again, like when you're working on these charm necklaces, if you're going to use multiple jump rings, just gotta like pay attention to where those jump rings are going. So I'm going to attach the jump ring and then attach the charm. So hopefully that's right that time. And close that up. Let's see. Yeah, that looks right. Oh, I love these together. Okay, one more onion and then we'll add our pyrites. And of all of the little oval shaped ones, I think the pyrites are some of the coolest ones. It's kind of a toss-up favorite wise for me. The amethyst and the pyrites. The pyrites are super cool too. Did I actually put is this pyrite? Yeah, that's pyrite one, but this one is not. So I need to find the other one. So what did I do with that one? Let's use these. Let's use those two. So I'll use my pyrites for an earring. So one more jump ring on this guy here, and then we'll add those last charms. And there we go. Close that up. Okay, we're almost there. And look how that kind of graduated look is. It's so fun. And the affordability of these little gemstone charms right now is, I mean, this is the time to grab them. If you're looking to do something like this, this is a lot easier to do with a 50% off price tag. So let me grab this guy from this side and close that one up. Make sure it's in the right spot. It needs a second jump ring. And if you wanted to, you could do all the same gemstone. So if there are enough of them for you to make your design, you could do all the same gemstone. Or you could pick two of your favorites. So let's see, these guys get all want to do their own thing. All right, one more here. Make sure that's still visible. I'm getting into my own zone here. So our last one, I'm gonna add that guy. Look how pretty. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so my last link here. I'm gonna pull this over here and close that jump ring up. Just need one more jump ring, and then we've got our design. And I'll show you how this looks kind of with our bead combo. I think it's pretty. Our beads are very ethereal, and then we've got all of these beautiful charms. So there's our charms, all kind of dangling from the center. Now, you guys, if you don't like that there are chain links, here's what we can do. So I'm kind of liking this without the extra spacing here. So we created loops with our French wire here. So here's what we can do. These links unfortunately have to be cut, but I can show you how we can make this make this a little bit better. So I'm going to take that link out and I'm going to cut this guy too. And we've got those loops ripe for the attachment. So we've got our 2 beaded pieces. And I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to attach with the small link here. So I've got a few links I've got to sacrifice. So you'll want to do this. You'll want to like plan it out a little bit better than I did. So I didn't super plan this ahead of time. So you'll want to plan it so you don't lose so many links. So we'll set those guys aside. I'll save the ones I can. Then what I'm going to do is get our gold tone jump rings here. And sadly, there aren't any jump rings available. But I'm going to grab this side first. And I'm going to take that small link. And I'm going to open up my jump ring. Grab my pliers. Open up that jump ring. And grab that small link. So this chain has some large links and some small links. And I'm going to close this guy up. And then I'm going to add a second jump ring. So much like the charms, I like to add more than one when I can. So meaning if I can fit it. Sometimes adding 2 jump rings does not work because you don't have enough space to add it. But when you can, it just gives you a little bit of extra stability, and in this case, it will add our continuity of our design too. So now I just want to make sure all of my charms are hanging downwards before I attach the chain on the other side. So let's see if I can get them all to lay nicely. I'm going to just find the little link on this side. So I think they're about to be in the right position. Just have to play with it to get it to lay just right so that your necklace isn't twisted. So this guy is being a problem. So let's get that laid out and laid out there. And then that's going to be on our bottom. And now I'm going to attach my jump rings and attach my other side of my chain. So I'm going to grab that guy. Grab that guy here. Chain link, and then we're going to attach it to our little French wire loop that we've got. And I think this is going to be okay. Let me test it. Make sure everything is going to lay right. Yeah, I think it will. Or not. So these last 2 links are giving me trouble. So I think it's because I've got my my charms attached to the wrong side of my links. You can see that. So I've got them attached to the wrong side. So what I'm going to need to do is move those. And we are over our time today. So I can quickly move those. And what I'll do first is attach this jump ring. I'm sorry to keep you guys today. But let me just quickly try and remedy this so you can at least see the piece before I put the clasp on, because I definitely won't put the clasp on today. but I will also share this out on social media so that you guys can see this. And see, I managed to get that wrong too. So see, when I saw what time it was, I started to unravel on this design a little bit. So let's see, let me get that guy on there. I don't know if that's right. Let's see. Get that on there like so. All right, so what I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm going to do that off camera for you, but you can see how this looks, you guys. You can see this beautiful little charm necklace with all of our beautiful beads up top in all of those beautiful finishes. So, so pretty. I'm actually going to try and take a picture of this outside in the sunlight because I think, or in the natural light, so you guys can see how pretty this is together. The stones, the beads, all of that mixed metal combo, and I'll actually show it to you. Hi. Sorry, we're going over today, you guys, but this is, I've got a really busy shirt on. I'm not taking it off, but I just want to show you in my neckline what that looks like. So that's going to be how your little charm necklace will look. I'm going to shift it over just a little bit so that larger bead is going to be in the center. And then I'm definitely going to need some extra beads up top for myself. So I'll probably add maybe another melon and another the rosaline beads, and then it will be about the right length, and it will just kind of sit at your collar. Thank you, Judy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your patience, because this is one that's hard to show because there's so many little jump rings and so many little connection points, but I just want to inspire you with a little bit of boutique style ideas. Don't forget this big chunky chain. So what I was saying earlier is like those big those big layered necklaces, layered neck messes. You can get one of your layers as a big chain. So super fun, super interesting, really cool piece. We've also got these amazing big chunky beads. I suggested going with this kind of a pendant. Beautiful boutique style pieces. There's so many options for you guys. And there's lots of those little gemstone charms left. So I know, Jane, time goes by too fast. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for hanging with me and watching with me today. I so appreciate all of you. We appreciate that you hang out with us. Don't forget to close out those carts because, as you know, when it's gone, it's gone. So don't abandon those carts. You'll be sad if you come back. Some of your things might actually be gone. So go and make some boutique style jewelry for yourself or to sell, and share that out to the world. Let them know that you are making boutique style jewelry. So thank you, Thaisa and Michelle, for being here. Thank you all for hanging out. Julie will be back on Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning for her next show. She'll also be back Monday afternoon, and I'll be here on Tuesday. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.